Now, before we begin today's session, I just want to get two things out of the way. First one is like I have a small request, like watch this video till the end because I have some really deep insights here for this topic. So I'd like to watch this video. I'd like you to watch this video till the end so you can like completely understand what I'm trying to say here. Because it's one thing to like speak on a topic for like make a 5 minute video, to really hit a really shallow point of a particular video. And there's another thing to really go deep into that issue. And like, it's like there are many ways to diagnose a particular situation. So you can go with our modern medicine system where you have some issue with you. Like what I mean is like a physical condition, and you go to the doctors and they prescribe you a certain medication which works on the short term, like a painkiller, or you can go to some healer or whatever, like some ancient medication or systems of diagnosis and healing, where they will go, really deep into a particular problem and actually try to find out like what is the root cause or the source of that particular problem. You know what I mean? And try to heal that source rather than, to use that painkiller band-aid method to just hide the wound, or, sweep your the dirt under the carpet method. So I'm just going with the finding that source of the problem and try to uproot the problem from the very source so that there's a permanent solution. So permanent solution, what do you need for permanent solution? You need patience. You need to have incredible capacity of patience. You need to show incredible capacity to have and exhibit patience. And you need to be patient, be perseverant, and you need to realize that this is what we are talking about is a really deep issue, and this is a very this is a primary and a very core issue of your life. If you're able to fix this issue in your life, you can only imagine how it's basically on a foundational level your life is going to change if you fix this issue. So because of that reason, it's not even possible for me to touch this topic on a shallow level, and I have to go really deep. So I'm not really sure like how long this video is going to be. So I cannot promise a short session, where I give you like 5 minutes, because this is really a big problem. So big problems require big solutions. Do you ever wonder why like there are like on any given topic, basically, when it comes to developing your personality or developing yourself as a person, as an individual, you realize that there are YouTube videos on any given self-development, personal development topic. For example, this one, which we are talking about, is relationships, right? So you can find YouTube videos on it. You can find articles on it on the internet. You can find articles on the same topic written by different people, right? Maybe the same YouTuber who posted a video on a particular topic, that same person also posts an article on his blog, on that particular topic. So you can also find books written on a particular topic. And on that same topic, you'll find a 5-minute video, a 50-minute video. You'll find an article that you can finish in about say 15 minutes. If you read that article for 15 minutes, it's done. You will also find books on that article. One book you can find, which is like 100-page long. You can find another book, which is 500 pages long. But most of us, in this fast-paced world, what we do is, or rather what we expect is, like we expect that we're going to watch that 5-minute video and it's going to solve that problem. Like, for example, in this case, we're going to be touching on this subject of relationships. and we think that we're going to watch that 5 minute or a 10-minute video or even a 20-minute video, let's say, 20, 30 minutes video, and it's going to solve that problem. But then you have to think, like, why are there books in the market which is 500 pages long on that same particular topic? So is the writer who has taken probably God knows like how many hours of work to write, edit several times the draft, like the first draft, second draft, third draft, God knows how many draft, and then finally it got into editing, and then it got like the editors did so many scanning, so many editing, then it leads to that final book which you buy on Amazon or wherever. So that book, you can just imagine like how much work went into that book. So like because we are impatient, or rather I would say, like, because our society right now is so fast paced, it doesn't even give us a time to read a 500 pages book. Like, that seems like a time from the past. But you can only imagine the difference between that YouTube five or whatever 30 minutes YouTube video and that 500 pages book, right? So obviously, if you read that 500 pages book with all the patience, and you don't rush it, and you give the time for that for that knowledge that is imprinted in that book, you give yourself, your intelligence, the time to absorb the knowledge and the content from that book. Now you can only imagine how transformational it is going to be. I'm pretty sure that most of us these days don't even read books. Like, I think that's kind of a thing of the past, right? Reading books. But what I'm trying to say here, I hope you get it. Like, what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of difference between a 5-minute YouTube video, and there's a lot of difference between a 5-minute YouTube video and a 30 minutes YouTube video. So that's my like number one request. Like, watch the whole video in order to get the understanding of like what I'm trying to communicate, because this is what is this. This is me communicating whatever is in here, whatever's in here, and whatever experiences I had in my life, whatever knowledge I gained, whatever I understood from this 27 years. I've been here on this planet as a human being for 27 years. And I can say today that I feel confident to speak on this topic because I have some substantial knowledge to impart here. So because of that reason, like, I request your patience and your valuable time so that you can get the full communication. Because if you click the video, watch for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then you move on to some other cat video, then I'm afraid to say that the communication is incomplete. It's then, like, even let's say this video is 1 hour long, and you watched even 30 minutes of it, frankly speaking, and you leave the rest half of the video, you don't watch it. What's going to happen is, because I'm speaking this from my own experience, I've done this with other like knowledge material, other podcasts, other long form videos, where especially on those videos which touch on important and foundational topics like this one, what happens is, when we watch it's like attending lecture of a professor, and basically you're bored of the lecture and you leave the class, but you miss half the lecture. So you get what you came for, but it's not. You would think like you got 50% of the content, right? But it doesn't work that way. Well, the thing about communication is, sometimes what happens is, it's like a stream of communication. So if you don't hear the entire whole thing, you're gonna basically miss it's like what you gained is not 50% by listening to 50% of what I had to say. You gained like 0%, because what happens is, you didn't listen to the whole communication. If you listen, it's like half baking a cake. Is there a thing like half baking? No, right? You have to bake the cake full. If the cake requires that you put it in the microwave, and you need to microwave and bake the cake, waking time is of 1 hour, then you have to go through the entire 1 hour process. Otherwise, what you're gonna get is not a half baked cake. What you're gonna get is basically something that you're gonna have to throw it in the dustbin, because you cannot obviously consume a half baked cake. So it's like, sometimes what happens is you have to listen to the full communication basically. Otherwise, uh, just gonna miss the entire. You're just gonna get nothing. And what happens oftentimes is you will misunderstand people's communication. Is because, especially in this long form podcast style communication, what happens is, um, people speak like it's a discussion, like a deep. They go deep. They start shallow and they go deep into a particular topic. And if you just listen to some bits of it, maybe something you will hear that's gonna contradict your worldview, something that you already know, it's gonna contradict with that, with your current state of egoic mind, and it's gonna just be complete misinformation. You're gonna completely misunderstand the communicator and the communication itself. So it's just you're doing rather like not watch, right? I guess. So, anyways, that was my that was my request. I think it's a prerequisite. So I just had I feel like it's important to share that. Second is a really small, like, just if your English is not very good, so you can use on YouTube. Obviously, you know that probably. Like, you can use a CC button. You can see if you're on a smartphone or any device, there are closed captions, which is abbreviated as CC, which you can click on, and YouTube's AI basically will put my speech into words. So you're gonna get the live subtitles of this entire video. So that helps, because sometimes we forget that English is one of the so many different languages out there, and just because your English might not be that good, like it really helps, Like, when my English was not that good, it really helped me to use subtitles when I used to watch movies. So that really helps with the communication. So that is something that I wanted to get out of the way. Now, coming back to our topic that we have today,